Greetings, everyone. Today is February 22, 2022. Jesus, I didn't think it was two.
What?
It's 22/2/22.
Yes, on a Tuesday.
That's funny. I just realized that.
I've seen like not less than 20 different memes today about that. Dude, what the fuck
Really?
are you talking about?
We probably
Also, it spells the same if you put it like upside down and from the backwards too.
I also figure not if you put a zero before the two, but here's the point. We clearly go to the different parts of the internet. You go to where random people go, and I think you're all idiots.
Yes.
Yes. And this is Evan Studios Weekly Podcast number 33. Just to be different.
It would be funny if it was the 22 podcast, but you know.
It will be hilarious.
We can't have everything in life, so.
Right. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back. This is the second podcast of 2022. And today is a good one. Today is the real first podcast of the year. This is the podcast that where we talk about shit that is about to come and not shit that is almost there. Should have been here like a long time ago, but it's not, but it's almost there. This is the podcast. And first of all, man, I would like to know how all of you are, first and foremost in chat. I hope you all have been doing great, and I hope you have been excited for a new podcast, or as anxious as we have been, because it's been a long time, and man, we are we're already going. We're ready for this year. We're ready to put out a lot of work, and today we're gonna talk about a lot of good stuff. I hope you guys enjoyed the patch. Obviously, I'm gonna talk about the patch that we're going to release with the missing scenes and whatnot. But I hope everyone is doing great. Shout out to everyone in chat right now. Uriel Jesus, Foster, Damidashi. I think it's the first time I see you around. And everyone else that is listening to it right now. Today we got a big podcast to go through. We got a lot to talk about, so I'm going to get right to it. So if you guys have questions, I'll try to get to them as early as convenient. But there's a chance that I might not be able to reply to all of them. So, still, if you have questions, just put them there. If not, I might or might not reply this time. So, this week, let's start with the elephant in the room, the small elephant in the room, the shoulder patch. Because I know for a fact that a lot of you are already wondering when is it going to come out. Even though we still have one fleeting hours patch to release, but this is the one that the CG team is working right now. The other is done. I just need to finish writing the scene and improving a few things in the game. But I'll explain this on the next segment. For now, let's focus on the shoulder patch. The CG team is already working on the shoulder patch. Right now, I can tell you what they are working on, and then I'm going to tell you what we are working on as a development team. And the CG team right now is currently working on art improvements. So basically, we're working on a new hairstyle for Ayame, which will be one of the hairstyles that she will use during the shoulder patch. The shoulder patch will also have approximately 20 scenes, and it will have multiple characters. The characters will be the two shoulder twins, a few of their friends around their age, Ayame, Fujiko, Roberts, and the shoulder kid's parents, or father in this case. They don't have a mother. But basically, those will be the characters that will appear in the shoulder patch, and all of them except Robert will have hentai scenes. So that means all of the six kids, I think. It will be like 6 kids. Obviously, it will be focused mostly on the two shoulder twins, but the other kids will take a small participation in the patch. There will be scenes with Fujiko as well, and I don't want to spoil too much, but I find it hilarious that there's two small twin kids having, doing their thing with the two big twin sisters. So Obviously, this one it won't be released directly on Patreon. You will have to find it on our website for obviously legal issues and not being legal to do this type of art in some countries. Yeah, we had to censor this picture a little bit because of obviously YouTube. YouTube permits stuff 18 plus as long as you qualify it as 18 plus, but still there's limits to how much 18 plus you can make.
Nothing too.
Yeah, obviously. So yeah, we had,
Sure.
but hopefully you guys can see the improvements on the gloss and the drawing and the detail. Since the busts have to be made on high quality, since they will be released through Fleeting Iris EF. The old bust, not only the colors were a little more, they were a little more boring and outdated. It shows even more in higher resolution, obviously. So we have to overall the main bust, the naked body, and then improve the rest around it. The gray top is going to be updated. It's going to be one of the costumes that Ayame will use on this patch. There will be no pubes for this patch. And regarding skin color, you start as the default white skin, and then she goes to the beach and she gets a tan naturally. So you will be able to see also you won't be able to pick the skin color, but Ayame will transition midway through the patch naturally to the other skin color. So we thought it will work best like this, and it will make the most sense. So this is the improvement on what we already have, because we are going to improve the body, and we are also going to improve the costumes that we're going to reuse. But there's also going to be some new costumes, and I will talk about them right now, and I will explain what is actually going on. So as you guys can see, some of the new costumes involve doggy kind of costume BDSM Ayame, which is the leftmost on your screen. The middle one, which is Bunny Girl Fujiko, and this will make sense later on. I don't want to spoil too much. And the third one is a new style of swimming suit that the kids pick for Ayame. And
Swimming suit? Who the hell swims in that?
swimming suit, bathing suit, tanning suit, whatever you want to call it, slingshot, whatever, So basically, there will be a couple of costume used on a few scenes, and this is to explain that Fujiko is also going to be in a smaller sense, but she's also going to be part of the patch. And this I'm also going to take the time to explain here that some of the activities and some of the scenes in the patch are going to be had near Robert, where Ayame tells Robert we could take the kids for whatever activity. Since I already have to take care of them anyway, we could take them on like a walk or whatever during the weekend. Since their parent is like, I really needed to take care of the kids this day, and then it was like, oh, I was already planning on doing whatever it is with Robert, and she's like, you know what, let's take them on our date. So the kids are going to follow Ayame and Robert to the movie theater. They're going to follow them to the beach and other activities like that. And so some of the scenes will happen with Robert in the vicinity, which I know is something that a lot of the NTR fans are big fans of. So in this Shota patch, we are really trying to make it that every scene is like big and has a big impact. So every scene pushes the story, is unique in a sense, characterizes a different character. There's a different character on the scene, and there's like different intervenients. So it's like a mini game on its own. You have a start, how it happens. There's going to be a lot of days without enticings. It's going to be just dialogue and character build and whatnot. And then there's going to be the progressive enticings. So the way the Shota patch unfolds is, in theory, what happens at the start of the game is that you follow the true ending on Fleeting Iris, And Ayami and Robert got married. She never cheated on him. It was like straight through ending where she only had sex with Robert in the day of their marriage. They got wed to each other. Everything is perfect. And then Ayami needs to get a job because obviously she rejected Melvin and she rejected working for Sato, and she rejected taking care of Arthur because of what the type of person that Arthur was. So now Ayami is without a job. She just got married. She needs to start a new life in Evan Studios, and someone in Evan Studios, Evan City.
She could be our secretary.
She could be our secretary.
Dibs on
on the
secretary.
secretary. Yes. Unless you call Fujiko's dibs on the second secretary. Okay. Like I was saying, Ayami needs to find a job in Evan City, and she's talking with a friend, and this friend tells her, a friend of mine is looking for a babysitter for his kids. Maybe you want to take a look and see what happens. And Ayami decides to finally get a job, and yeah, everything is going fine in Ayami's life. She got married. She just got married, and she's going to babysit 2 kids. And then initially it's all innocent and whatnot, and then she realizes that, So from there on out, stuff happens. There will be costumes. There will be a lot of NTR with Robert on the vicinity. There will be an amazing ending. There will be different tans. So as you guys can see, Ayami will be able to get tanned on that specific outfit. And yeah, there's a lot of amazing stuff that we are dying
Those
to.
lines will look very funky.
I already seen this the thing with the 10 lines. It's not a big deal. It actually looks good. I understand that due to YouTube video quality, you guys might not be able to see the first and the second costumes very well, but I will probably maybe post. Well, no, I'm not. I'm just gonna wait. You guys will have to wait for it. I will just post the busts on the preview section when they are done. I mean, I'm sorry. I mean, I'm not going to like post all the concept art that we have right now because you guys will get incredibly spoiled, and I don't want
have that around here.
Yeah, no, you'll actually have to wait. But I can promise you it's going to be worth the wait. So right now this is what we are working on in terms of CG team. The CG team is already full blown working on the shoulder patch. They're working on the many costumes as well as improving our old ones and making everything look a lot better. So yeah, that's what's up right now, and I'm really dying to start working on this patch and start working on the scenes. But yeah, there's a lot of people asked how many characters are going to be in it, if Robert is going to be in it, if Ayami is a virgin, if he's married, and whatnot. So yeah, we hope this answered all of your questions. Robert will be around for a lot of it. Fujiko is going to take part of it. I think you guys are going to enjoy the tandem scenes between the Shota twins and the the Sawada twins. It's we have a really good patch plan. We've had this patch plan for over a year now, and yeah, we really took some time to actually make sure that the patch will be amazing and no scene will be in the patch just to be a +1 scene. We actually end up having to cut like a couple scenes to cut the patch short into like 20 scenes. But with the increase in resolution, how good the CG team is right now, the story that we built for the Shota patch. I don't want to be that guy and trying to like, push my own agenda, so to speak. But I feel like the Shota patch is going to be like the quality of a small VN on its own. Like it's going to be like almost a game on its own. It's a VN. There's not a lot of decisions to make. It's going to be straight, just go to this character, but mostly it's just going to play like a short story VN with high resolution. But I hope once you guys play it, you guys will enjoy it a lot as much as we did coming up with the ideas and the concept for the patch and drawing the base of the scenes so that I could show the CG team what I wanted and whatnot. Yeah, I think you guys are going to love these ones. But the not only the Shota fans, even though I know that a lot of people completely hate that type of content and will not play it at all, and I understand. But in the same way, there's going to be a lot of people that are big fans of this type of content, and for those that are not like or cold about it, for those that just want to see good hentai, I'm pretty sure that you guys are going to love it a lot. All the big fans of Fleeting Hours are going to love this patch, but a few people won't, and for those people, good thing is we have a lot more stuff to release this year, so let's get right to it. While the CG team is working on the Shota patch, as we have just shown, Isaac and I are working on the Fleeting Hours finale patch, which is going to have the missing scenes, an ending that somehow Isaac was able to remove from the game, that I didn't know he removed until like someone complained, and then he checked and it was like, oh shit, someone complained and they were right. But this is the funny part. The ending is in the game, it's just not getting triggered.
Yes, absolutely.
You make it seem like sarcastically, but that's exactly what's going on.
Yes.
So yeah, we made a few quality of life improvements to where the character will have to like walk from the nudist beach all the way to the locker rooms to switch back to their costume, or take a shower and then walk all the way outside of the beach and whatnot. And we were like, listen, we don't want to like bore players with all that stuff. Just grab that and after these scenes, just transfer the player outside the beach. And when that happened, we also made you skip the ending. Yeah, it was.
By we, it means me. That was on me. Sorry, guys.
It doesn't matter who it was on. The thing is, it's in the game, and it's going to be another awesome thing for you guys to check. But it's not only that. We want to release 2 patches. This is probably going to be the last 2 patches for Fleeting Hours. The first one is going to come out really soon. I would say maybe next week, maybe the week after that, because since now we're not in a rush, we can actually send the patches to the test team, to the bug test team, and see what they think. So we're going to release a patch that is going to be just focused on the bugs that were created on this version. So the bugs that you guys have reported for this version, the 2 missing scenes and the missing ending, and that's going to be just this patch is just what we're gonna do. And then Isaac and I are going to play the whole game and completely change the whole game with quality of life improvements and better lighting and actually weather and NPCs saying better stuff and having better dialogues and making all the songs and all the dialogues and everything in the game extremely consistent, which will take a lot of time, but it needs to be done. And it's going to be the last improvement that we're going to make on Fleeting Iris. We're also going to check all the stats that are changed within the game, so nothing gets bugged. We're also going to prepare the game for Robert's suspicion patch. We're going to do the last final cleanup on Fleeting Iris. We're going to do that while the CG team is drawing the Shota patch, which will at least take a couple months. It's a massive patch, and we will keep you guys updated
20
on.
scenes is probably the most scenes we have done in any patch ever.
In their higher resolution.
Yes.
Not to mention, I still haven't checked which ones I want to animate and send to Naturale Kibito for him to animate our scenes. But yeah, I'm excited to start working on that patch as well. But right now, we have the Fleeting Iris finale patch to make, which will be pretty much cleaning up everything, creating a walkthrough that you guys can access in our website and play and find every scene like in an easy fashion. And then maybe create a section on our website where you can click in the scene and literally check how you unlock that scene or how you get there or whatnot, like a walkthrough inside the walkthrough. So basically, yeah, we have 2 more Fleeting Iris patches to be released. This is Fleeting Iris patches, not counting the Shota one. That's Fleeting Iris ZF. For Fleeting Iris, we want to release a patch with the missing scenes, and then we want to release a finale patch, hopefully with the fan-made scenes which we kind of want to make edits to scenes that we already have to make more sense, because right now either we make it like a visual novel without visual, where you just read text and there's just a picture in the background and whatnot. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Or if we have to build it like full scenes, we have to make a few edits. So I don't know how we're gonna make it, but they're going to be out when the finale patch comes out. And for now we don't have any plans for when it will come out, but the patch with the missing scenes will come out very soon. And then after that, we are going to start working on the finale patch. So a lot of people are already done with Fleeting Ares. They just want to get this out of the way and start focusing on the stuff that's going to come in the future, because people are wondering when Journey Abroad starts coming out and then Bloodlust starts coming out. So let's go straight to that part of the podcast. Let's focus on that right now. Just keep in mind that Fleeting Ares still has 2 more patches to come out, not counting with the Shota patch. So we're not quite done with it yet. We still have a lot of things to improve, story to improve, quality of life changes to make. So the final version of the game might have quite a number of significant features from what you see in the game right now. Different mapping, different weather, different songs, a lot of different dialogue. We're going to change a lot of grammar and whatnot. There's a few scenes that a few routes that might have a lot of different dialogue. So it's going to be pretty massive, but we want to release that kind of as a surprise and have that be like the final version. And that's the one we're going to send to Kagori Games to update the Steam version, and then we'll see what they do with it. Because last time we thought they were going to do something, and then they did something completely different. So this time, I'm going to leave it up to them to what they want to do. But there will be the technical final version of the game until we start releasing the other DLCs that are on hold indefinitely. But like we said many times in the past, we still have plans to do them, and we really want to do them. So boom, Journey Abroad. A lot of people are wondering what's been happening with Journey Abroad. Right now, Scarlet Annie is working on a few stuff, but she had an issue where I don't quite understand what happened, but she wasn't able to get on her work computer. I didn't question it a lot. I was like, okay, I understand, because she was like, listen, I haven't been able to work on this, and I was like, okay, yeah, I understand, and that was it. I wasn't like, I didn't start an inquiry like like I was her boss. I was like, yeah, okay. But she nonetheless she has shown me some of the stuff that she has made. So I'm going to show some of the stuff that is being worked on, and then I'm going to give a short resume on all of the characters, resume whatever, on all the characters that we have released. And obviously there's more information for the patrons that we have been releasing lately, with the first two images of the game from actual gameplay. But I'm going to try and explain what we are doing right now and what's going to be the premise of the game. So to start off, this is the wrong slide. Let's start off with that. Oh, I uploaded the same image twice. Okay, doesn't matter. I'll just do it like this. So starting from the left, I'm going to go with the big characters and then the small ones and try to explain what they are. And I'm going to make a short resume about it. The leftmost character, she's the wife of the Reverend of the church. She is also the mother of the second character from the right. And she's a very religious person with very strong beliefs. She doesn't believe in cheating and all that stuff, but somehow the main character is going to change that perception about it. She is also the principal of the school, and she's going to be a tough nut to crack, but eventually the main character is going to manage to do it. She's one of the most secondary characters, but you at the beginning of the game, obviously she's going to have a lot of contempt for the main character, but eventually he's going to fill a gap in her life that no one has been able to feel lately. The second character from the life is Miss Gomez. And I think it's Miss Gomez. I don't remember what name I gave her. I don't remember their last names. But basically, she's your Spanish teacher, and she's the mother of one of the secondary characters that is going to become one of your best friends. And actually, it's through that character that she's going to start tolerating you more and start appreciating you for being in her son's life and protecting him and being a good friend to him. And yeah, that's when she starts seeing the value of the main character, and that's when you start getting close with her. And yeah, that's when you start romancing her and whatnot. The third character from the left, the chick with the glasses and the combi logo that we made up. Basically, she works at a store where you will be able to work as well. And then you realize she has a dark fetish, and at first she's embarrassed that you find out about it, but then you're like, that's actually totally cool, and you try to support her on her fetish, and obviously at some point she lets you participate. And then there's a lot of stuff that you do with her, mainly focused on exhibitionism and cosplay. The fourth character is from the left with the HCU, which Evans City University top, is like the school bimbo, and she's like a very obnoxious person that hates your guts. She is dating the school jock, and basically you hate her at the beginning of the game, and the way that you punish her is with heavy BDSM. Yeah, so basically you have to raise your stats a lot to be able to impress this character, and eventually, you are able to romance her. The two characters in the middle, the redhead and the blonde, are going to be your foster mothers. When you travel abroad, you're going to be staying in their house. While the blonde chick is she instantly likes you and wants you to have a good time while you're there, and she appreciates a lot for what you're doing for their adoptive son and switching places with him for a full year and whatnot. She instantly tries to embrace you and whatnot, but the problem is she is actually bisexual, and she has had a daughter from a previous marriage, and lately she has been having this urge to be with a man, and having one running around the house all the time. It is not easy on her, and you eventually you manage to take care of her urges, so to speak. And the redhead is starts getting a little bit more bi curious as she finds out what is going on. At first she's angry, but after seeing how our partner is getting so happy and with what is happening, she starts getting a little curious, and instead of being angry, eventually she starts trying to find a way to experience the same thing, to see what her partner is feeling. And there's one day where she manages to take her place, and the relationship goes on from there. And then to the right, it's the actual daughter of the blonde character. She's around your age. Actually, she's a 1 year older. She's the type of person in school where she's like popular but not really. People are just afraid of her because she's not afraid to like punch people in the throat or stab someone in the face. She's a very dangerous, very outspoken type of girl, and basically she starts the game by bullying you, and doing stuff in exchange for money. So basically, you gotta get a job, you gotta earn a lot of money, and then she does favors to you in exchange for money. But you try to get things to escalate a lot quicker than she allows it to. At first, she just takes a lot of money from you for almost no reward, but eventually you start growing on her. She helps you become a little more popular in school, and yeah, she's probably one of the biggest reasons why you start becoming a little bit more popular character and whatnot. To the right of her is your physical education teacher. There's not a lot to say about this character. This is one of the secondary characters that you just eventually find a way to romance. At first, everybody's like she's a lesbian. She doesn't like guys. She always treats guys like trash. She's very feminist. Blah 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 blah. And then eventually, as you start improving your physical stats, and as you start doing better in her classes, eventually you can start romancing her. To the right of her is the actual girlfriend of the guy you switch places with, and eventually you're also going to take the privileges that come with it. But she becomes she starts as your personal trainer in the gym once you enroll in the gym, and once you sign up for classes, you two start getting along more. She starts asking you questions. Where did you meet her boyfriend? What made you want to change places with him and whatnot? And eventually you guys get closer and closer and closer, and obviously there's a part of her life that is missing because she was very close to her boyfriend and she was used to be in a relationship, and they decided to take a break while he left while he left Evan City and while he switched places with you, and then you managed to convince her to let you be what he was for her, and the more you show up at the gym and the more you enroll in her classes, the deeper your relationship becomes, and eventually you are able to romance her. And the rightmost character is probably the biggest romance that you can have in the game. She's also a foreign character. She's also having a hard time adapting to a new city, to new people, to new costumes, and it's pretty much just a very vanilla type of story where you two start supporting each other a lot, and eventually you two start appreciating being around each other, and you start romancing. For the 6 characters that we have right now as minimal as side characters, we have the witch on the right. She's the owner of like a magic store, and it's kind of like a very small side game where she works more as like a fortune reader, and eventually you are able to romance her, but that's about it. There's no big magic plot behind the game. She's just like a fortune reader, and later in the game you are able to have sex with her, but it's not like a big relationship or anything. It's just more carnal, more physical. The second one is the mother of the MC. You personally don't have sex with her in this game, but the guy that you change places with might have. So yeah. Then we have Ayame, which is basically just the same story as the Shotapad. She married Robert. They moved on to a new apartment which is close to your house. So she's basically your neighbor, and you go around to mow her garden and help around the house, and eventually you start doing the job Robert has been neglecting. So yeah, it's kind of like just a spin-off character. The other 3 characters are just characters that are like for the plot. You have Fernando, which is the guy with a rainbow T-shirt, which is the doctor, the actual son of the Spanish teacher. And to the left, you have the boyfriend of the high school bimbo, and he's like the jock guy. Is the guy that has been bullying Fernando, and you try to help him. And at the start, you obviously it just gets worse for you as well, because you start picking up fights with the school bully, and at first you start trying to avoid them and whatnot, but eventually you are able to practice a lot and attend like martial art classes and improving your physical constitution and whatnot, and eventually you are able to stand up to him, which will increase your popularity in school a lot, and will also increase your popularity with a lot of girls, including his girlfriend at the time, which will then lead to some NTR scenes. And there will be actually quite a few in the game. There's going to be a lot of exhibitionism, NTR. There's going to be a lot of just generic romance. There's going to be a lot of BDSM. There's going to be a lot of girl-on-girl stuff. Yeah, eventually you will be able to romance most of these characters, and even see scenes, crossover scenes between some of these characters with each other. And also not to forget that we have plans to add some of these characters to our Halloween patch. So I hope you guys are excited to see those. We still haven't decided the costumes that they're going to use, but who knows? Maybe we let the community decide those. And this is the stuff that we already worked on, but also we're still working on new characters, and this is some of the new characters that we want to add. This is like the rest of the cheerleaders. These two characters are friends of with the school bimbo, the very popular cheerleader, and basically you're actually going to romance these two girls before you get to the other one, and you're going to start telling her how fantastic of a guy in bed you actually are, and that you're not as nerdy as everyone seems out to be and whatnot. And you're going to actually use these two as a way to get closer to her. But yeah, these two are actually like, I think these are the last secondary characters, and then we're going to start moving on to the actual age scenes. So yeah, the first patch should be coming out relatively soon, but there's still some stuff to be done, and some of the stuff to be done is actually deciding how we're going to release the game. And we've been working on the sprites and whatnot. This is what we have right now. It's a little chibi. We're trying to make a few improvements on it, but in terms of sprites, we feel like it's a lot better than what we have in Flinagaris. So basically, the game is going to be it's going to play like a visual novel, but instead of like just clicking characters and whatnot, you actually walk up to characters, and the main characters are going to have like light sprites where you can actually see who the character is, and the NPCs are going to have like this dim black transparent look where you realize that they're NPCs. But there's no walking around cities and whatnot. You just have a world map. You click in an area, and then once you reach that area, you see all the characters that you can interact with. But I feel like if we make it this way, it's going to be better than the typical visual novel, because instead of just seeing a background and seeing like the bust of the characters, and you don't see any action, you don't see anything happen, you can actually see a lot of action take place in the map if it's made through sprites, instead of being made just the flat background with the flat busts. Obviously there's going to be busts. Everything that we showed you so far is busts, and there's going to be different expressions and whatnot. But I feel like the game is going to be richer like this, but it's going to be, in terms of gameplay, it's not going to be as Flinagaris, where it's like open world, free roam, go everywhere and whatnot. In this one, you'll just have map locations, and then you can click on a location, and once you get to the location, you will see all the characters that are available there, or not, because it might depend on the time of the day and the day of the week. And but don't worry, because we're also going to have like a calendar in game, so that your character can keep track where a character usually is. There's also a chance for having a cell phone and being able to call characters, asking them where they are and whatnot, and some of the scenes might actually be unlocked that way. So yeah, this is what we're doing in terms of like production right now. I think that the one of the things that are slowing us down the most in this first patch is actually having enough sprites, but we might consider just doing what we need to do on the first few patch with placeholder sprites, and then we'll just build on on the game that we already have with the sprites when they arrive. So we're not going to let sprites delay the game, yeah. That's pretty much it for Journey Abroad. If you have been following our Patreon, you know that we have already started working on some of the scenes in the game. So right now we're working full throttle on the Shota patch. We want to put off Flinagaris, and we also want to start working on Journey Abroad, which should be done on RPG Maker MV. And because soon we might be able to port the game into the new RPG Maker, and that new RPG Maker is going to come out, is going to have Unity, and you'll be able to port other games from it. Yeah, the new RPG Maker is going to come out. Is going to be on Unity.
I know about that one, not about the port part.
You're going to be able to port. Obviously, I think this Chris you have to remake most of them and whatnot, but you'll be able to port the game directly to the RPG Maker with Unity. So even if we can't, RPG Maker MV for what we want to do is probably one of the best engines. It's already going to have a lot bigger resolution.
Yes.
And yeah, it's going to make coding the game and whatnot a lot simpler because we don't want to make this game too complex. It's not going to be like Fleeting Iris. It's going to be mostly like a sim game where you build up stats and you're able to romance the characters, and then eventually you'll be able to romance like one character or all the characters and get like a single ending for all of them, or get like an RM ending with all of them. So yeah, that's pretty much what's going to be. So this is what we want to do in terms of the game right now. So it's going to be pretty much sold on the quality of the scenes in terms of like the CG quality, the dialogue quality, and the story quality. We really want to sell this game as we're not gonna change the wheel. We're not going to make anything revolutionary in terms of like gameplay. We want this game to be rich on just the story, the dialogues, the quality of the entire scenes. We're going to be making a game that it feels like a real simulator experience, and yeah, I hope that the quality of the dialogue and the scenes themselves make the game amazing, and that the mechanics of the game actually make the game pleasing to play. I know a lot of people don't like to run around towns, but I know that a lot of people don't like the oversimplicity of a visual novel. So we're going to try to get something a little in between, with a few mini games when you're working where you can make more or less money, a few mini games when you're trying to raise your stats. So yeah, we're super excited to work on this. Right now we have our hands full with a lot of stuff to work on, and yeah, but right now we are not working on this. We are working on the Fleeting Iris. That's going to be our priority. And then while we are working on the shoulder patch and the scenes are arriving, we're going to start working on Journey Abroad and the Bloodlust as well. But Journey Abroad is going to have priority over Bloodlust because Bloodlust also needs the Fleeting Iris team that is working on the shoulder patch to start working on the scenes for that, and they're currently busy with the shoulder scenes. So the Journey Abroad CG team is already working on Journey Abroad, so Journey Abroad is going to come up before Bloodlust, and Bloodlust we won't start working on Bloodlust with our full team until we are done with all the Fleeting Iris patches and all the shoulder patches, which will take a little bit since there's still 20 scenes to be made. But we will keep you guys updated on Discord and Twitter and Patreon and Subscribestar and whatever you guys have to be updated depending on which game you are following, or both. So yeah, that's it for Journey Abroad for now. I feel like we are close to like a breakthrough in Journey Abroad. We are going to start putting a lot of resources on Journey Abroad and spending a lot of time working on the game, because I think like after a couple more scenes drawn by Scarlet N, we will be able to have a full tech demo out and ready for testing, and we will do that. We will do those we can do that in a hurry. Since we already know most of the story that we're going to release, and I already have most of the initial days planned out, so all we need to do is just make the maps and put it out. So yeah, I'm very positive for a release very, very soon in the next couple of months, maybe even before the shoulder patch. I don't think it's unreasonable to think. Yeah.
Okay. I see.
I don't think.
I mean, the shoulder patch will be probably like much bigger because of all the anti-scenes and all the dialogues and all the days. Yes.
Exactly.
I see. Okay.
Exactly. The first tech patch for Journey Abroad is going to have like 3 scenes and then a lot of dialogue.
It's like introduce all the main characters.
Yeah,
and that's
exactly.
probably it.
It's not going to be full of anti-scenes. It's going to be a lot of character build and maybe like the first scene of the game. I mean, in terms of like time and gameplay, it's probably going to be as big, but it's not going to have the same amount of scenes because there's going to be a lot of character build. So yeah, I feel like reasonable. We might actually even have the first patch of Journey Abroad before the first patch of the Shota the Shota patch, the first patch, the actual Shota patch, and then obviously after the Shota patch, we're going to start working on Bloodlust. So Bloodlust is dependent on the Shota patch, while Journey Abroad we can start working full throttle as soon as possible. But like I said, one of the things that we have, delayed the most right now is the sprites, and we might use placeholder sprites at first, but yeah, I'm confident that we might have a Journey Abroad patch relatively soon, like even sooner than the Shota patch maybe, and yeah, that's gonna be really cool. So to wrap it up, that's not where I wanted to click. That is Bloodlust. Actually, I'll reply to the questions at the end, guys. Don't worry. Bloodlust. Basically, the only thing that I'm missing right now is deciding how we are going to do the battle system. We haven't decided if we're going to do a frontal battle system, kind of like you see on games like Virgin Island or Arms Divisor or whatnot. I know most of you know what games are those. Or if we're going to have sprite animated side battles with anti scenes on the actual fighting and whatnot. We wanted to do that, but that can turn extremely expensive, as every little animation can cost hundreds of dollars. And second, we will have to find a very competent artist with a lot of free time to work on our game, because sometimes you can't just throw money at the screen and get competent person to work for you. So ideally, for Bloodlust, the only thing that we're missing figuring out is how we're going to deliver the battle system. If it's going to be side battlers with animated battlers with grappling and groping and maybe sex during the battle system when the characters get restrained and whatnot, or if it's going to be typical RPG. You pick the skill and then you can have animated skills, and then you can have groped scenes and whatever. But the difference is that going to be delivered via small sprites, animated sprites, or if it's going to be delivered via actual scenes and busts and characters getting groped and whatnot, which we can also make. We can try and make with the CG team. We can try to make small characters and then have our animator animated and whatnot. So right now for Bloodlust, we're still going through a lot of analysis and gameplay decisions. But it's okay, because we still have a lot of time to decide what we want to do with it and where we want to take this. Because like I said, we can't start working. We can't send our full team to work on Bloodlust until we are done with the Shota patch. And it's honestly going to depend if we can find someone capable of doing it. We scoured a lot of places websites like Fiverr and whatnot, the classified section of the RPG Maker forums. We've been searching high and low. We actually found a guy that did something interesting. We will be contacting him in the next few days. But he asks for $150 just to make a simple animation, and yeah, we're going to check, and obviously we need to figure out if he's willing to work with anti-characters. Some people are absolutely not. We found quite a few of them, or else we can just go on Twitter and try to figure out if there's people willing to do it. But usually every time I go and try to find people to work for us on Twitter, it's bots tell people to just go there and post, and a lot of people start telling us that they are capable of doing what we were asking for, and then they show us their portfolio, and it has nothing to do with what we want. So one of the ways is still going to look great. It's the safe way, and it's the way that we know we can deliver. And the other way is the optimal way, It's the way that we kind of want to do, but it's the way we don't know if we have the resources to do. And one of the biggest resources that we need right now is time, and all the games of the same type of genre that do those animated sex sprites, thingies, usually take years to develop with a very minimal amount of work. I can give you a lot of examples from like small characters, like big characters, but all the games that I've seen like that usually take a long time to be made. Some are even abandoned halfway. Some are abandoned and then they start getting made with a different team. Like it's a big decision to make right now, and obviously one way will look the best, but if it's going to be something that can slow down the whole game releasing process and can be like a big headache down the road versus something that we know it's safe and that we can deliver with the team we have right now, it's a big decision to make. It's a huge decision to make. And it's easy to tell people, listen, this one looks like this, it looks great, and the game takes like 2 years to make, and this one looks like this, which looks good, and takes like 6 months to make. And most people would be like, fuck yeah, 2 years, we don't care, do that. And then later down the road, everybody starts complaining why the game is not coming out, and people start withdrawing their support and whatnot. So it's right now the big thing about Bloodlust is deciding how we are going to deliver the game, and we can deliver one way. We have the resources to do it right now today. If we stop the show, the patch, we can start working on Bloodlust and we can release that way. And then there's the other way that is extremely complicated and convoluted, and we hope we can find someone to do it anyway, or find something in between, which is what we are going to try to do, which is get our CG team to draw, the animated characters, and then have our animator animate them. And that will also look freaking great. And yeah, we will see how that one works out. So yeah, that's the plans. That's the plans we have for 2022 in a short term, in the next 4, 5, 6 months. We definitely want to get at least 1 or 2 Journey Abroad patches before Halloween. We want to get at least 1 Bloodlust patch before Halloween. We want to get out both Fleeting Hours patches plus the Shota patch before Halloween, and then we want to release the Halloween patch, and then we want to release the Christmas patch, and that's the plans for 2022.
It's gonna be a great year.
Which I know for a lot of people it seems unrealistic, and we realize it probably seems unrealistic.
Yeah, but everything we do around here is a bit unrealistic at first, so.
That is actually a great motto. Evan Studios. Everything we do is a little bit unrealistic at first. That could be literally one day when we open an office. That's going to be our slogan right below it. Come with unrealistic expectations.
Our motto should be, we do the possible.
No, our motto should be play stupid games, get stupid prizes. That's what. But yeah, we know it's a lot to do, and that there's a lot of decision making to be made. But we actually just hope that you guys enjoy our plans for the future. I hope we explain what's going on at the office right now, everything that we're working on at the same time. And don't worry, I'm not going to say goodbye yet, because I still have a few questions to answer. And if you guys have questions now, do it now, because I'm going to reply those questions and we're going to fuck off. So yeah, let's start with Fossern. Actually, Anch the Hotel. Which game are you talking about? We were talking about Journey Abroad at the time, which is actually answers your second question, which is what about the project you were making with Scarlet N? We are still working on it. We explained it during the podcast. That's the one. Foster said, "Oh, for some latex. Not that I am called Latex 2024 or anything on Discord. Yes, the scenes with Ayami and Fujiko will both have latex. Foster again, stockings are a good second option, and maybe Ayami is dressing the scene Forbidden Fruit with Armand when Robert is busy with the mayor. That dressing and stockings is one hell of a combination. Yes, that's the most voted favorite costume in the actual game. Booyah!
Is it?
In your fucking face. Yes, The red dress on the Armand scene
Not surprised though, but
is one the when we made a voting for which costume people enjoyed the most in the game. That red dress won the number one fucking shit thingy. And you actually gave me a great idea, and I might actually put that dress on the thingy shoulder patch thingy. Boom, that's what you get. So yeah, that dress actually. I know that you probably thought you were going to be alone on it, but you're not. That actually was the voted number one costume in the game.
yeah, I voted on that one too.
That was actually my second favorite.
What was your favorite?
The Gyaru Ayame on the
I see.
with the little side ponytail and whatever. I'm gonna tell you why. It was not just the costume or the stupid wig or anything. It's because I feel like the CG team drew those scenes extremely well. And there's one scene, actually, one of my favorite scenes in the game is with the red dress, but the other two scenes in the red dress, I don't like them that much.
Okay.
The one where they have sex standing up next to the fucking window.
Yes.
I feel like that scene could have looked better, but I think Muku was. We were already late on the patch, and Muku was kind of sick, and we ended up not making the scene better, but it looks good enough, but not as good as it could have been. And the scene where Ayame comes back with him, and he walks inside the living room with Ayame with like the arm over his shoulder and whatnot. I also think that one could have looked better. However, the scene at the piano is probably, I can easily say, I don't need to go throughout the 300 scenes we have in the game. I can easily say it's on my top 10.
Absolutely.
Without checking all the 300 scenes that we have in the game, that's probably on my top 10. And then, you know why I said that? Because if I go on the game and I start checking all of the scenes, it's going to be hard to make a top 10 and take some scenes out of the top 10. I've tried it. It's hard. There's a lot of scenes that I like a lot. There's a lot of scenes that I'm like, why did I write this? Or, we really need to get the CG team to improve this. And that's why we're going to make a new patch with all the fucking improvements and the quality of life changes. Where we are going to change all that shit. And there's a lot of scenes in the game where I actually look at them and like, I wish I did better. Why do I fucking suck? And I become like super critical, and I look at the scenes and like, what the fuck was I thinking? Why did I write this? I'm so bad at this. And then I write a good scene and I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna live forever. Woo! So yeah, the game has this power on me where it makes me feel like amazing and shit at the same time. But there are scenes like it's really hard for me to make a top 10 because there's so many amazing scenes and there's so many scenes that I feel like they're so bad. Why are they in the game? It's like they're tainting, they're like corrupting the good scenes. It's like, this scene is amazing, but then on the same game there's this scene that looks like shit. But I hope that when I make the finale patch I can make justice on all the scenes. And then there's the scenes that I think that are bad but people actually think they are decent, like the scene with the jackass on the Melvin pub, Matt. The scene in the bathroom with Matt, I don't like it, people like it.
Okay. I kinda
See, that's the problem. You kinda that scene, and to me is not good enough to be in my game.
I see it. Sure.
That's the problem. I don't like that scene. I don't think that scene is great, and I want everything that is on Flaming Arts to look great. And that's why I'm gonna work on other games, Else I'm not gonna be able to, whatever. But you know what's great? Right now. Okay, Bloodlust is being kind of a nightmare. I'm sorry, that's the truth. I just feel like Bloodlust right now. Yeah, there. Bloodlust right now is being kind of an headache because I still have to decide what I'm gonna do in terms of battle, in terms of the battlers. If I'm gonna do sprites or if I'm gonna do like standing animations and whatnot. And if we do standing animations, we still have to test how we're gonna make it. And I don't know. I don't like I'm developing, and I don't instantly know the answer to any questions that I have. Wait, that makes no sense, does it? Okay, usually when I'm developing, when I decide how I'm going to make something, I need to already know how I'm going to deliver that. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And right now, I still have to test some stuff about Bloodlust, and I don't like that feeling that I still have to go and test stuff. Because I know I'm going to figure it out, but until I figure it out, it's going to be a headache. Now, for Journey Abroad, I know it's going to be an amazing game, and I'm excited to start working on it and to start delivering, and once we start putting everything that we have together, it's going to look amazing. But something that I know, like, I have, like, this huge gut feeling that it's like, I just want to get it out, because I know it's going to look like fucking amazing. It's the Shota patch.
Okay.
Dude, the Shota patch is going to be so good. The story is great. I spent so much time trying to, like, develop a story. The costumes are going to be great. The fetishes are going to be great. Like, just no having I am being corrupted by the two little kids, and then their friends, and then playing hide and seek, and then she's hiding, and someone is seeking, but she's never found.
That's
and
deep, man.
And the things that she's doing, dude, and all the scenes that happen in front of Robert. Oh my god, it's gonna be so good. It's gonna be so good. It's gonna be like super action-packed game. It's gonna be like imagine like 6 mangas. It's gonna be like 6 mangas, 6 episodes. Like you see those one shotas on like Ientai that you can watch. It's gonna be like 6 of those, but like fucking awesome with a lot of story and a lot of shit going on in the background.
Okay, sure.
Dude, it's gonna be like I guarantee you that I'm gonna flip the shit on people when they play the game. Fuck yeah, they'll be the best. Listen, people want to see so much more of the red dress. Foster Ness said, "Awesome to hear that both my questions will be hopefully on the red dress in the patch." I think you have no idea how much people like the red dress. Let me tell you how much people like the red dress. If you have any idea how our game works, you'll know exactly what I mean with the next sentence. The red dress is the Melvin of costumes. Every time we made a poll asking what's your favorite route, Melvin will get like 50% of the votes, and the other 50% of the votes will be split among all the other different routes. But Melvin alone will have 50% of the votes. I'll tell you what else for people that don't know, because this is like stuff that we know, but it might be something that people don't know yet, or don't like you haven't been around enough to know. A lot of people were like, "Oh man, Melvin is fucking disgusting," or whatever. Bro, like 2 or 3 years ago, there was a vote, and people decided that every single patch will have to have at least one Melvin route scene. We spent some time. Okay, now I don't know if you guys remember, but we were like, okay, this patch we're going to work on like the Jack route, and this patch we're going to work like 6 scenes for this route and 6 scenes for this route, and we were splitting patches in between routes. But people voted that every patch will have to have at least one Melvin route scene. That's how much people like the Melvin route. And then people come and tell me, "Hey man, I'm like on A forum or B forum or whatever, and people are complaining about Melvin route. Why did you make like an ugly fat character?" And I'm like, bro, do you realize that's like the most requested character in the actual game? People are like Melvin or Riot. I had to make a Melvin route scene every patch for like 6 years, or else people will riot. And then people tell me, "Man, I hate Melvin route." Well, welcome to the minority. Sometimes no one agrees with us, and I understand that some people are like, "Man, I can't even understand how you guys appreciate a scene." It's literally more voted by itself than all the other routes combined. And that might be my fault for sucking at writing all the other routes, but I don't think that was it. People just want to see, Melvin. The red dress is the Melvin of costumes. Literally, like, the red dress beat every other costume by a ridiculous margin. And this included the bunny costume, the latex costume, everything. The red dress just beat everything instantly. It just killed everything else. So yeah, we might bring the red dress back in the Shota patch. Boom. By the way, so did I actually thought you guys were talking about... I'm sorry, what? Let me try and read that again. Foster said, by the way, so did I actually thought you guys were talking about Journey Abroad when it came to the outfits? What? Okay, when you said what, I was like, okay, am I the only one not understanding that? And then when you said what, it was like, oh, okay, you too. Foster, I don't understand, bro. So did I actually thought you guys were talking about Journey Abroad when it came to the outfits? I don't know. Did you think we were talking about Journey Abroad when it came to the outfits? Wait, were you expecting Ayame to have the red dress on Journey Abroad? I don't understand what the question is. I honestly don't understand what the question is. But yeah, guys, this was the plans for the near future. I tried to make it as short and straight to the point as I could. If you guys have any more questions, because right now the point of this podcast was like telling you guys what's the plans on a very near future. But if you guys have questions about anything that I said, please post them on Discord or Patreon or Subscribestar or Twitch or whatever it is. Because I'm just trying to explain what we are working on. That's the big point of the podcast, is explaining what we are working on, what we are going to do on the near future. And if you have questions about what we are doing, just go ahead and ask. We will be glad to reply. And also all the feedback from the latest the summer patch, all the feedback from the last patch. We will appreciate all types of feedback from our last patch. What do you like the most? If you feel like the improvement in quality was worth the wait, for the animations, for the better quality, for the transitions in the scenes with all the kissing and switching between anal and vaginal and sucking the tits and now jumping on top of the character and all that stuff. If you feel like all that stuff was worth it, please tell us, because your feedback is this is not like voting. This is not like shitty democracy. This is not like the magazine. How the fuck do you say that in English? Let me Google this right quick.
What?
Boom, demagogy. Demagogy.
I doubt it's demagogy.
I don't care.
Sure.
It's demagogy.
Kind of sounds like demagogy.
Demagogy.
Sure.
You're demagogy. This is not demagogy. The Google said it was demagogy. Can you chill? If you guys vote on something, it actually matters. Evan Studios is not your government, and I don't even care what country you're from. I know your country is shit, and I know your government. Actually, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say your country is shit. I'm literally sorry. I didn't mean to say your country is shit. I meant to say your government is shit. I don't care what your government is. I don't care what country you live on. Your government is shit. They don't care about you. But we do. When you vote on anything Evan Studios, when you give us feedback, we listen, and future patches will be changed and will be made dependent on what you decided. Your votes matter on Evan Studios. This is a true democracy. I couldn't get the word demagogy out of my... I was trying to think of democracy and I was like, demagogy.
You suck.
I'm serious. No, it might sound like I'm kidding. I'm not kidding. And this might be a little bit of a vent and frustration about government sucking, and we're close to another war. Jokes aside, shit's about to go down in Ukraine, and it's very serious. And our prayers go to everyone in Ukraine, and we hope that every innocent person over there stays safe, and nothing bad happens to you guys. While some big dudes try to flex their fucking old wrinkled penises. I just genuinely hope that everybody stays safe and everybody stays healthy and nothing bad happens to you or your families. And our prayers are go to all of you because it's really fucking serious. And you know, I hope if people, it's not easy because some people have to abandon their homes, their friends, their families. But if you guys, I hope that the rest of Europe and the rest of the world takes everyone from Ukraine that decides to run away from the war and whatnot. I hope the world supports Ukraine in you know in the best of ways. And you know, it's hard to talk about this in without seeing what's gonna happen. But you know, yeah, I'm sick and tired of fucking governments playing with the fate of like the public that didn't want for this, didn't ask for this. But you know, thankfully we're just an anti-game developer, so whatever you guys decide, and your votes actually matter here, your feedback actually matters, and we will try to do better, and we will keep striving to do better, and we will keep listening to our community, because we know we are here and we are able to work on this, and we are able to do this because you guys allow us to, and we will keep doing our best to not defraud your expectations and all the support that you guys have been putting on us. I can only promise that we keep doing our best, not just in the near future, not just in 2022, but as long as you guys allow us and provide us with the means to keep working on this, we will do our best to live up to your expectations. And all your feedback will matter, and it will be important to better ourselves and better our games in the future, and actually make the games that you guys want to play. So yeah. Last question, because this is a good one, and to not, so that I don't say goodbye on a very, you know, grim thing, you know, mood. English is hard. But yeah, Foster asks, but a serious question now. Will Miami wear all the 3 outfits you shown us in the near proximity to Robert? One yes, one no, and the other one is not Miami. Boom! See? Evan Cedar saving it at the end. See? Yeah. No, that's probably the best way to say goodbye to you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. We will try to be back really, really soon, like next week. I don't know. I mean, it depends. If you guys have questions and if you guys give us something to talk about and something to debate, we will have, you know, a topic to talk about. If not, we will be back in 2 weeks. It depends. It really depends if you guys give us, you know, something to talk about. Or if we achieve a breakthrough in terms of like development and whatnot, which we have achieved many, as you guys have seen. We've been working on a lot of stuff, and we have a lot of stuff that we want to release and whatnot. I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed all the news that we have for the games upcoming soon. And if you have any questions, you know where to ask them. I'm going to say goodbye, but before I do that, I'm going to let my co-host, who hasn't said almost shit the whole podcast, say goodbye to you guys.
Goodbye to you guys.
Goodbye to you guys. Yeah, I hope to see you guys next week, man. I hope you guys enjoyed, man. I enjoyed, and I personally, I'm dying to start delivering all of the content that we've talked about today, especially especially nothing. I really want to work on all of them. Bloodlust is the only one giving me headaches, but I know it's going to be a good shit on when the time comes. So yeah. Yeah, whatever. Cool. Who cares? Everything is going to be amazing when we release it. I trust it.
Yes.
And I know you guys trust it as well. So, boom. There we go. I hope you guys stay safe. I hope you guys stay healthy. I hope you guys achieve everything that you guys want to, because you guys are all amazing people in the best fucking community ever. I don't care what Square Enix says.
Shots fired.
Shots fired, bro. I don't give a shit. Like, they don't even know us. They don't even know us, because if they knew us, We're too good for that shit. We're too good to all
You
for.
don't know, maybe some big guy at Square Enix like who plays Fleeting Artists. You don't know that.
He probably does, and he probably likes. God damn it, we are striving to make a community like that, and that's exactly who the fuck we are. We are the underdogs. We don't need Steam votes to know we're the best, because I know we're the best. We're kind of like fucking DJ Khaled. We're the best music, but we're like the best community. But we're actually the best, and we don't just say it a million times to actually try to make ourselves believe it. Whatever. You guys are the fucking best. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Stay healthy. I love you all so much. Goodbye, guys.
Bye, everyone.